would love to hear anything Scott has to share with us for the next 30 minutes or so. And Scott, if you'll bless us with that. Scott Schilling.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Good afternoon, everyone out there. I know Lloyd, and one of the reasons that we probably were connected is because there were periods of time I did an awful lot of networking groups in town. Then I tend to get on the road and speak and travel the country and the world, and then I come back, and then I realize I don't know anybody here. I know everybody everywhere else. Somebody says, who do you know in Dallas? Nobody, but San Diego, boy, I can help you with San Diego, because I've been out there a lot. I'm very blessed to have done a lot of different things. Classically, I'm a sales guy. I started selling life insurance when I was 18 years old and going to football. The reason I did it was quite simple. I was going to come out with a Bachelor of Business Administration degree with 5,000 of my closest friends. What was going to differentiate me? Well, one-on-one personal communication ability, the ability to find people's needs, wants, and desires and solve those. So I was very blessed. I had 7 job offers when people had none. I narrowed it down to 3 companies, IBM, Shell Oil in Houston, and Amana Refrigeration in Amana, Iowa, 20 miles west of where I went to school. I wasn't the IBM guy. Can you see the shirt? It hasn't really changed. The white shirt, red tie, blue suit wasn't going to work for me pretty well. So even though I was very grateful for the IBM offer, it just didn't seem like the thing. So then I said, well, Amana Refrigeration, $500 million, or Shell Oil, billions. Well, I can rocket through this structure much faster than I can rocket through this. And who the hell would ever want to live in Texas? So I promptly went to work for Amana. They transferred me to Chicago. 6 years later, I opened up Amana Southwest in Dallas, Texas. Have been here ever since. So I love Texas. I had to come down here to meet my bride, who was born and raised in Dallas. So classically, I'm a sales guy, but I've never sold anything. What I've done is I've satisfied somebody's needs, wants, or desires. By definition, people get afraid of sales, and I know Dave already asked this, but by a show of hands, how many of you are in sales? Every one of us are in sales every minute of every day. We just have this tendency to not frame it in our brain that way. So let me help you with that just real quickly to give you a new framing. How many of you have ever been on a date? You made a sale. How many have ever put a kid to bed? You made a sale. How many of you are married? You're better at this than you think. Do you understand? Selling is nothing more than exchanging some information, a position for somebody to consider. Now, the Webster's definition of selling is the exchange of a product, good, or service for an amount of money or its equivalent. Now, I train an awful lot in the holistic disciplines, chiropractors, acupuncturists, energy healers. And for whatever reason, they seem to have a problem collecting money for what they do. It's icky. And I usually say, well, the business doesn't last that way, but they don't like to hear that, even though it's true. So I said, well, exchange it. It's the exchange of a product, good, or service for an equivalent. It makes your heart feel good. So we made some great progress with a number of my clients that way. And I actually developed my own heart-centered selling definition of sales. And that is education through communication without manipulation. So we are educators. We are teachers. We teach about the features, advantages, and benefits that our products, goods, and services have to offer. So what we really do is we find out the needs, wants, and desires of our prospect, and then we solve them. Now, one of the things that I suggest is that, quite frankly, there's far too much presentation prior to learning any information. Does anybody agree there? It's probably the number one issue. In that, and it might be direct sales. But the fact of the matter is, you can be a millionaire. I really don't want to be a millionaire. The problems I would have. No, right. And so again, nothing. I'm a strong advocate for the direct sales industry. I think everybody should be involved. So I'm not saying from that point of view. I just think that they should be trained better as to what it really is all about. That's my point. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you in the time that we have together, I call the three absolutes. And these are the three absolutes to any presentation. It doesn't matter what your product, good, or service is. These are absolute. Has anybody ever heard there's no such thing as an absolute? Well, they're right, except for these three. These three are absolute in any situation. The first is WIIFT. T. What's in it for them? You've got to come from an others orientation. It's about them, their needs, their wants, their desires. You have to walk a mile in their shoes. Dave already gave you an example of this. He said, well, when I met Scott, Scott said, how can I serve your group? What can I present that would be of value to them? That's what's in it for them. So whenever I speak, now I've been very blessed. I've done 2,000 events around the country and around the world, maybe more. Don't know exactly the number. Probably spoke to 1 million people live. I've sold millions and millions of dollars from the stage in 60 minutes or less to people I've never met. Well, you have to use these absolutes to create that kind of environment, to create the relationships that quickly. So the first thing we have to do when we plan a presentation is we have to anticipate what's in it for them. We have to look at how this is going to be beneficial to them and their position. See, I come out of the Zig Ziglar camp. Back when I was 17 years old, just a few years ago. That's really not supposed to be funny, Dave. But I appreciate it. So
that's not one of the absolutes.
That's not one of the absolutes. I read "See You at the Top," and there was a quote in that book that forever changed my life at 17 years of age. It's actually why I became a licensed life insurance at age 18. You can have anything in life you want when you simply help enough other people get what they want. It's a positioning statement that positioned my entire life. It's about servant leadership. It's about how can I be of service to you? So here's what's interesting is I didn't know Anil until last Friday. But Anil and I, the first thing I said to Anil is, man, I love what you're doing. It seems like we come from the same place. I have an online TV show. I'd love to help promote you and your message. All of a sudden, Dave walks up and he goes, you need to know this guy. And we probably had known each other a good 13 seconds at that point. Seriously. But this is how it works. When you work to position yourself as a servant leader, I can have anything in life I want when I simply help enough other people get what they want. That's why I love training. That's why my passion is training. Speaking is great. You're a rock star. You're in front of 25,000 people. You're out there, and you're cool. And you got the money. Oh yeah, it's cool. Okay. But people don't remember you. Because you only have this time for the most part. Whereas when you train, you can truly impact somebody's lives. 2 weeks ago, I got a message from somebody that said, hey, I just closed the biggest deal of my career. It's from the training you conducted April 1st and 2nd, 2004.
Wow.
I just wanted to thank you. Now that gives you juice. That's pouring into somebody else, right? What's in it for them? You got to come from that place. Dave also said the second absolute, but I think people say it, but they don't live it. They don't understand it. And the second absolute is people do business with those they know, like, and trust. If I don't know you, I don't like you.
Right.
And if I don't like you, I don't trust you. But in order to do business with you, I have to trust you. It's a trust thing. Now, we live in this immediate gratification, me, now society. It actually is why some of us more mature, that's code word for old, some of us more mature folks are having great success in these days because the fact of the matter is we understand building trust. We understand building relationships because it's all about the relationship. There's nothing worse than a premature presentation. If I don't know you, I don't like you. If I don't like you, I don't trust you. But it's imperative for us to do business that we have to have trust. If trust goes away, the deal is over. So again, people break trust all the time. Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a great meeting you. I'll call you at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And I call you Thursday. Trust is broken. Whatever little level has been created goes away that much faster. Trust is hard to earn. It's easy to lose. So that's the second absolute. And the third one is the one that most people forget. And that is people take action when they're ready. Not when you're ready. It's not about you.
Right.
If you don't have enough business to, it's what you didn't do 30, 60, 90 days ago. Today's activity does not determine today's volume. Today's volume was determined by the activity 30, 60, 90 days ago, and today's activity determines volume 30, 60, 90 days from now. So it has to be a funnel. It has to be a funnel with a pipeline. If there's not enough coming out of the pipeline, it's because there's not enough going into the funnel to begin with. When you put more in the funnel. Now, how many of you, here's one of my 12 books. How many of you believe I would like each and every one of you to purchase this book this afternoon? By a show of hands. Those of you without your hands up, raise your hands. Heck yes, I want you to buy my book. But if I haven't earned your trust today, then I want you to do it tomorrow. And if it's not tomorrow, I want it next week. And if it's not next week, I want it next month. And if it's not next month, I want it next year. And if it's not next year, I want it the year after that. Do you understand? It's part of earning your trust. It has nothing to do with my book. It has to do with the trust that's developed over the period of time. Now again, I was presenting a $4,000 product from stage. I had 60 minutes to do it. There's 25,000 people in the stands. You talk about having to build trust fast. But we did. Because it's how you craft presentations to make sure that the people understand that you are there to serve them. And then once they make that purchase, you make sure that you serve them impeccably beyond that. So again, people take action when they want to, not when you want to. So again, we live in this immediate gratification society. Here's what we see in networking groups around Dallas and so many places in the country. Somebody comes to the original Pancake House, sits down here for the first time, hasn't met anybody. They get up, they do their 30 seconds, and they go, oh my God, I've got the greatest product in the history of ever, and if you don't buy it, you're making a real mistake. And they sit down, and nobody talks to them the rest of the day. Everybody leaves, and they go, this group stinks. And it has nothing to do with the group. It has to do with you haven't earned the right to make that presentation. And until you have earned that right, don't make it. Because all it's going to do is leave you in a problematic state. Is this making some sense? Now what we really want is that middle one, know, like, and trust, to become love, respect, and think you hung the moon. I want to have think you hung the moon status with everybody I meet. I mean, I want, when somebody says, Scott Schilling, that guy hung the moon.
I felt that way about a meal Sunday.
Exactly. That guy hung the moon. That's why I said to Anil, I want to promote what you're doing, because and that's what he said. He called me and he goes, there's something about you. Out of everybody I met at the Warriors conference, he goes, I really want to work with you. No, he has the opportunity to work with a lot of people. It's very gratifying, right? So I get it, exactly. We want to have that love, respect, think you hung the moon status. So just as an example, my email signature says, please let me know how I can be of service to you. And sometimes I have people that'll say, what do you want from me? To you.
Right.
I'm angling to create a relationship. But the only way, I can't control how you respond to that signature. I can only control how I respond to offer it and the intent behind offering it. See, I want love, respect, think you hung the moon status. Maybe 5%. $95%. Everyone you meet. Asset. Become a spontaneous servant. He says, well, we've got. Let me know when it might work for you. I haven't, no, that didn't happen then. But when I saw him Sunday, right? So 2 days later, he said, so you're ready to speak this week? I said, sure, I'm always ready to serve a great group. It doesn't matter, I can't control who's not here. The only right? So I become an asset to the group. If you like what I do, let's create a greater relationship and explore how we can do more things together. If you don't like what I do, I'm not sure what your problem is. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Just wanted to see if you're still with me. Joking. Sorry, I was just kidding. Anyway, so how does this play out? Well, I belong to the TPC Las Colinas, have for 30 years. And so one morning I was on an elliptical trainer, and there was a silver-haired gentleman on the elliptical trainer next to me. And I got on and I said, hey, I haven't seen you around here. Are you a hotel guest or are you a new member of the club? He said, I'm a new member of the club. I said, awesome. My name is Scott. He said, my name is Paul. I said, cool, Paul, but what do you like to do? He goes, oh man, I love to play golf. I said, really? We got an amazing golf group. We've played together probably for 15 or 18 years now. If you're interested, I can introduce you to the guy who runs our group. And again, he's kind of a stickler, but he does that happen. Would you like that? He goes, that'd be awesome. Anyway, small talk. At the end, I write my contact information down. I hand it to him, and I said, here's my contact information. I'll connect you with the golf group. If there's anything I can ever do for you, please feel free to give me a call. Let me know how I can be. On Saturday, it went great. Nice guy, all this different stuff. He didn't play in my group, so I didn't have any time to talk to him or anything. Anyway, Monday, I get a call. Group on Saturday. He said, that was really awesome. That was so cool. I said, oh, so you called to thank me? He goes, no. I go, okay. Well, what did you call for? He said, were you serious about that serving me thing? I said, well, absolutely. He said, awesome. I need 4 kind of guy. He goes, oh, it's not for me. It's for my daughter and my granddaughter. They're coming to town. They love Jewel. I said, Paul, are you talking about the event that's at the American Airlines Center on Friday? He goes, yeah, that's why I called you. What do you need? He said, I just need 4 tickets
4 front rows.
in the first 2 rows. I said, really? I'm glad it's nothing special. I said, hold on a second. I said, here's what's really weird. Earlier today, I was talking to a friend. He introduced me to what he said is the best ticket broker in town. Hold on. So I called this ticket broker. Best ticket broker in town. I personally don't need tickets, but I have a new friend who just called me, said he needs 4 tickets. Wow, hold on. I said, Paul, I got you 4 tickets to Jewel. He goes, in the first 2 rows. I said, I don't know. I forgot. 4 tickets to Jewel, but I forgot the caveat to it. In the first 2 rows. He goes, I got 4 tickets in the first row. I said, hold on. I said, Paul, I said, I forgot to ask how much. And I went, problem. Dude, I need to know. I don't know, I forgot to ask. I said, will you take a check? He goes, sure, I'll take a check. Where's his office? I said, I don't know, I forgot to ask. I said, will you deliver me? He goes, yeah, I can be there in a half hour. Does that work? I said, I don't know, I forgot to ask. He goes, yeah, a half hour would be great. Half hour later, he's got 4 tickets to Jewel in the front row. Now, am I a ticket broker? The point is, what happened, no, I got no fee, I got no nothing.
You were an asset.
I was an asset.
Right.
So, I've got 2 friends for life. I've got a ticket agent that had 4 days to dump 4 tickets in the front row, and a friend who then got them. Now, why do I share the story? It's to become an asset to other people. Now, here's what I didn't know when I did all this. Paul was the CEO of a $3 billion company here in Dallas. I never asked him what he did. That's not what I do. I don't care what you do. We're going to make a relationship first. 4 homes. I've stayed in 3 of his 4 homes. I've played many of the 13 country clubs he belongs to. He has introduced me to the CEO of 7-Eleven, Ford, and Boeing. Would those be good things? But I never did it for that. Do you understand? It's about, I want love, respect, and think you hung the moon status with everybody. I want to be in a position where people know to call me because if they need something. So literally right now, I met somebody at Habitudes that sold his company for $1 billion. Would that be good? Don't even know him. Spend some time getting to know him. I talked to another friend who's working to raise $100 million right now. I said, I know somebody who might have that. So I didn't introduce him. I reached out to the one with the funding and said, are these the kind of things that you would be interested in looking at? And he said, that would be awesome. What's the industry? What's the stuff? Before you introduce me, let me do some more research. I said, tell me what information you need. I'll get it for you. Of course, this guy wants to meet him right away. I said, that's not the way the game works. Right? So I'm the go-between. Now, I didn't ask for it. I still haven't asked for anything. Will I get something? I have no idea. Will it work? I have no idea. That's not why I did it. I did it because it's what I do. When somebody needs to know somebody else that can be of service to them and where they're going. And this is what we fail to understand so many times. Selling is a value proposition. And many times our product is our value. I'm going to suggest to you far more times we are the value. Our product is just the product. And again, I see this in direct sales all the time. That's right. The people will naturally take the product because they're actually buying you. They're not buying the product. Does that make sense to everybody? And everybody works so hard to get referrals, but they typically do it the wrong way. And so, with your permission, I'd like to do a little activity here to help you understand how to properly obtain a referral. Would that be of interest to anybody? Yes? Well, in order to do this, you're going to have to take money out of your pocket. It will cost money to play this game. Okay? So, Randy, don't be jumping ahead. Calm down, Randy. Who has $1? For all of you that raised your hands, that is a hand. $1. Exchange your dollar. That's the first dollar I saw out. For this envelope that I can assure you has more than $1 worth of value. Let's exchange. Open it up. Look in there very quickly. Get this yourself. You should be here next time.
$5.
It's with this transaction. Would you maybe know anybody else that would be similarly happy with a transaction like that?
Almost anybody.
Well, of those people, do you have any of their contact information?
Yeah,
And would you write that down for me at some point?
sure.
And when could I expect that?
Later today.
That's how you get a referral. What people miss is they don't get the referral at the right time. Positive transaction. All I did is confirm this is a positive transaction. He said, yes, it was. Who else do you know that might like that? Everybody. Do you have their contact information? Yes. When could I get that? I'll write it down later today. Now, had he said, I don't know anybody right now, I would have said, Lloyd, I'm glad that this was a positive transaction. If anybody comes to mind later on, would you forward it to me? Do you understand? We try to force referrals, and we're doing it at the wrong time, and we're requiring people to go back in time to get the same feeling that they had, and they never recapture that feeling. Life has happened in between, so now we ask them for a referral. Number one, typically they can't think of anybody. Nobody comes top of mind. But the other side of it is, if somebody comes top of mind, now they have been critically judging everything for that period of time. Make sense? Who's got a $5 bill? Once again, this is a hand. Dave, will you exchange your $5 bill for this envelope that I can assure you has more than $5 worth of value? Open that up. Let everybody know what's in there, please.
I have a $10.
You have a $10 Starbucks card. And are you pleased with this transaction?
Totally.
And you would more than likely also give me some referrals.
Yeah.
Who's got a $10 bill? Will you exchange your $10 bill for this envelope that I can assure you has more than $10 worth of value?
I like you and I trust you.
Awesome. Perfect. That is so mean.
I have a client right now. Yeah.
Kidding.
And it's a $20.
And are you happy with this transaction?
Ecstatic. I love
Who's got a
Starbucks.
$20 bill? Will you exchange your $20 bill for this envelope that I can assure you does not have $20 worth of value?
You've gained my trust. I will give you that.
Go ahead, open that up.
Pretty thick.
He's walking away.
He doesn't walk away.
And are you happy with this transaction?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
This is $5.
So what's the problem?
You gained my trust and now you've lost it.
Wait. Lloyd, did we make a good deal? Dave, we made a good deal?
Absolutely.
We made a good deal?
Yes, sir.
What's your problem?
You. See, now I can't do business with you.
Or refer you.
Exactly.
Okay. How many of you believe if I leave this way, my business will grow? No.
But you did,
How-
but you did say up front that it was not going to be worth $20.
I did say, I did change what I said.
Right.
Okay. In every other case, I said I can guarantee
Right.
it's got larger value.
Right.
In that one instance, I said it does not have
Right.
$20 in value.
Right.
What could that mean?
More or less.
It could be more or less. Why did you make the deal? Even though I changed the verbiage, why did you
Because
make it?
I've seen you do other transactions and earned, I trust you for that.
Exactly.
So I took a chance.
I have created a pattern of over-delivery in the marketplace. And because of that pattern of over-delivery in the marketplace, I now changed my presentation, quite frankly, in a poor direction. Right? But I still got people to act. Now, the reason he acted psychologically is because when I said it's not worth 20, when he's seen over delivery, his assumption was there will be over delivery. Many times I do this, and somebody will say, well, no, you said it wasn't worth $20. I'm not going to make that deal. So I will do exactly what I did. Did we make a good deal? Did we make a good deal? Did we make a good deal? Very nice, very light, very cheap. I call it sales bullying. It's exactly what it is. It's sales bullying. It's what most people do, is they sales bully. Well, don't you understand what a great deal I made with Dave? What's your issue?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it's not your issue, it's my issue. And if I were to leave this way, this would be, and I would destroy all the trust, everything that I've done in the marketplace for years goes away like that. I would never do that to you.
Well, I didn't think you would.
So now it's over delivery again.
Right.
So again, what happens so often is in the selling situation, we don't understand the impact of words, the impact of our presentation, the impact. So when I coach people, when I sit with people, when I sit with speakers, I actually have 2 pads of paper. One is, hey, that's really awesome. I'll probably borrow that sometime. Discussion is exactly that. What were you trying to get to land there? What was your intent of what you said? Oh, well, basically, it didn't land like that. So if you moved it from here to here in your presentation, it would now have that kind of landing. Or I might say, that ain't going to work. or the word you need at this point is. Now people say, seriously, a word? A single word. So, words are critical. It was really awesome. I paid him a lot of freaking money. And he trained a lot of people. I'm the only guy he ever recommended to anybody. And so also one day I get a call from him, and he said, Scott, I'm coming to Dallas. I'd love to take you to dinner. I got to ask you some questions. I said, you buy? And he goes, yes. I said, are you kidding me? I'm in. This is the first time you've ever paid for anything. I mean, I don't even care where we go. If you're buying, I'm in. So we go, and we went to Uncle Julio's. Like we couldn't have gone to Del Frisco. No, I'm still grateful. Anyway. So we go to Uncle Julio's, and we're sitting there, and he goes, you're easily the most successful speaker I've ever trained. You've done the most events, you've spoken to the most people, you've sold the most product. He goes, I got to ask you a question. I said, what's that? He said, you're also the only guy who's ever done everything I suggested he do. It just confuses me. And I said, okay, so what's the question? He goes, well, why did you do that? First, how much did I write you in checks? Sounds about right. And how many of those checks did you cash? He said, every one of them. To teach me the industry. What you told me to do. That makes zero sense. That's what they do if they hire a coach like me. They go, yeah, well, you don't see, that just won't work for me. I've sold a lot across every industry you know, because we're all in the exact same industry. We might have different badges, but we're in the we've got a sales side of the table, we got a service. The list of possibilities in the result. Whatever results present. Who cares? You know, who cares? Well, we're a Fortune 100. What result are you going to give me in my life that's going to make my life better? And until you present that to me, and until I agree with you and I understand that, I'm not going to the seminar business. I did not go. This is the significance part. That's how you gain significance. It's not about so people teach you got to have goals. Let's go. Boy, that's exciting. Or I got all this crap in my house, and I got a big ass house with a lot of crap in it. All right. Maybe we should downsize and sell this crap that I've worked my entire life to get. What are you working for? See, I think this becomes about significance. Success is the achievement of a goal. Significance is the meaning behind the achievement of the goal. Legacy, quite frankly, shouldn't be what you work to accumulate throughout your career so you can leave to somebody once you die. Legacy should be what you're known for as you live. So when I'm selling, I'm serving. It's about being significant to somebody else from the standpoint of helping them gain significance. So again, the last Get Motivated event, the big one, I think we had 22,000. It was Stephen Forbes, Colin Powell, me, Rudy Giuliani, Laura Bush, Mary Buffett, Terry Bradshaw, da-da-da-da-da. Pretty good lineup. A little different than today. This is just as important, if not more. Because it's not about all that. It's about taking people that will go serve more people. When people say people help people. That's it. I help people help people. Well, how do you do that? Very well, thank you. No, really, what do you do? Yeah. What do you need? No, seriously, what do you do? Do you understand what I just did? Is I created curiosity, and I have them wanting to know what I do. Instead of the old show up and throw up, let's walk into a networking event and go, oh, fresh meat. Oh, boy, I can sell XYZ in here. Right? But people do it all the time. And you sit there and you go, why aren't you trying to find out how you can be of service to people? I mean, last Friday, when you guys left to come here, I actually left to MC a haircutting event where we cut 8 inches off another speaker's head, 8 inches of hair, so that it could be donated to create a wig for a kid with cancer. And I got yelled at for leaving the event because you're not mingling with these people. Yell all you want. Bring it on. You don't seem to understand. We're going to do something to raise awareness that we could do something of significance. So again, if there's anything that I can ever do for you in any way, I make a really complex email address. At
Schilling?
yes, SCHILL. I've got 3 Facebook. I've got Talking with Giants is my TV show and my brand. ScottSchilling.com, TalkingWithGiants.com, a couple Google Pluses, a couple LinkedIn, a couple of this. I got 9 different socials. I'm like anybody else. And just so you know, what's in this book is what a company paid me over $200,000 to develop, that we took that company from $8 million to almost $100 million in 5.5 years. And you go, well, I've seen it. Don't get it. My world doesn't change one way or the other. It really doesn't. Now, do I think it might change yours? I do. But again, that's only by if it works for you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. If I can ever be of service to you, please let me know. I can't control whether you ever contact me. I can only control whether I offer it. Right? With that, I say thank you. God bless you. Well, I appreciate it.
You want to figure out what you're motivated about in life, what you care about in life? Look at 2 things. Look at your checkbook and look at your calendar. Those are the only 2 things you can guarantee you know what you care about in life. Because if you look at your calendar, you'll see the things that you enjoy doing.